Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I'm bringing you guys a reading all about how can you be the best version of yourself. And I want to clarify that by best version of yourself, I don't mean the most efficient, most productive, or best version of yourself that other people, like society wants you to be, or that your family wants you to be. I mean the version of yourself that's happy to wake up every day, that is content in their day to day life, doesn't just feel like you're surviving or trying to get through a day. The version of you that feels physically and spiritually nourished, and the version of you that feels like you're in alignment with your purpose in this life, you know? So, today we're going to be looking at the kinds of bad habits you need to break or things that you need to remove from your life. This could be people or, like I said, habits that aren't serving you. After that, we're going to be looking at things that you can incorporate into your life or things that you could be doing that will make you feel like you're living your best life. And I'm going to end on one final piece of advice from your spirit guides, just what they would tell you about this issue or whatever's coming up in the reading, just a little thing from them to you. So, today I have 3 different readings for you to choose from. Pile 1 we have with the hematite. Hold it up for you. There you go. Pile 2 with the green aragonite. This one is so pretty. And pile 3 with the dendritic agate. So go ahead and pause, figure out which pile you feel most drawn to. I've left timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading you want to watch. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the hematite, then this is going to be the reading for you. And I want to start by saying that I do have my window open and I have some trees and birds outside, so I hope it's not too loud for you. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it open because it's giving kind of a nice vibe. I'm hearing the birds, and these 2 birds were making a lot of noise. That's them, if you can hear them, right before I started your reading, and they were bluebirds. So I don't know if those have any meaning to any of you if you found this pile, but if that's like a spirit animal for you or a sign, I don't know, it's like a blue and white bird. Kind of looks like Mordecai from Regular Show, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, getting into your reading, pile 1. Starting off with things that you should be removing from your life, bad habits or things that aren't serving you. You have protection, flow, and then abundance and space came out together. So when I first saw this, I was very confused because I was like, protection, why would you want to remove protection? But I feel like, protection is good when it's needed and when you do it in right amounts. But I'm envisioning like a crab. A crab has its shell, its exoskeleton to protect itself. But if that shell were to overgrow or harden too much, they wouldn't be able to move. And it's like you can put up walls and they protect you from the outside, but it also restricts your growth. And I feel like protecting your peace is something that's very important to you. And I feel like you definitely feel like you need it to succeed. And to some extent, I think that's true. But in your case, I feel like you're protecting yourself because of fear. And you're letting your fear rule over yourself. It's one thing to protect yourself from bad people, but to protect yourself from even those around you that want to help, if you can't let them in, you're just hurting yourself. And so I feel like Spirit is telling me to ask you to let down those walls a little bit. Be a little bit more okay with vulnerability. And of course, I want you to differentiate, like who should be let in your life, because of course, this is a general reading. It's meant for multiple people. Some people just aren't meant to be let in your life. There are some people that should be kept out. And I'm not saying like suddenly let them in, but use your intuition. If there are people that you feel like are in your life that truly want the best for you, that would do nothing but help you, that don't have bad intentions, it might help you to let some more people into your life, especially if there are certain goals that you're trying to achieve. It helps to have people to lean on. Or even if it's just when it comes to emotions, if you feel like you're the kind of person that I can just work through it myself, I don't need to talk to other people, like I'm not going to burden them. Some people want to be there for you. Some people want to be able to help you. They don't want to see you suffer. So that's the first message of something that you should be getting rid of, is don't completely get rid of all of the protection you have around yourself, but lessen it so that it's a good balance, is what I have to say. And next, with the flow card, I feel like you are definitely the kind of person that believes everything happens for a reason, just go with the flow. And I totally believe this as well. But I feel like you are starting to let it... Damn, those birds are going crazy. Sorry about that. I feel like you are kind of doing it to your detriment, where whether consciously or unconsciously, you're not... What's the word? You're not taking responsibility for what goes wrong or what goes right in your life. It's good to believe in fate and like going with the flow, but your actions still have meaning. Like, there's this line from this book, The Alchemist. I talk about it all the time, but it's my favorite book. And at one point, the main character gets this bit of advice that says, the worst thing that people do for themselves is forget that they have free will and just give their life up to fate. And they start to believe that they have no agency to create change within their life. And it's good to believe in fate. It's good to believe you're going in the right direction, that things are happening for a reason. But it's bad if you start to give up your agency and just be like, well, I'm not going to take action. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And I think, like, if you imagine with flow, it's like a river, right? You're flowing down this river and this is fate, but there are still forks in the river, and those are opportunities for you to make a decision about where you want your life to go. And you can believe that life is just going to take you wherever it wants, but there are still points where you need to make decisions for yourself, where you need to take action, because you can't just rely on the universe or other people to make those decisions for you. So I feel like your spirit guides are kind of wanting you to take a little bit more action towards the things that you want, not just relying so heavily on, you know, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Like, you can still make a change, you can still take action and possibly affect what the outcome is. You know, don't just believe that fate will completely control you and you don't have any choice in the matter. And finally here, with abundance and space coming out together, I feel like you have this feeling that the only way to create financial abundance, or abundance in general, just prosperity, is by putting your nose to the grindstone and being completely alone. Like, you only work good when you're alone, when you're the only one that's like hustling, focusing on your future. But I'm here to tell you, it's like with protection, you can't let it be to your detriment. Yes, it's good to not have people constantly looking over your shoulder or like pulling you in different directions, but you can't be successful fully on your own. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it's not recommended. It's good to have people help you along the way. So I feel like a big message for you is to stop isolating yourself so much from good influences in your life. That doesn't mean like fully give up and let them have control over your life, but you're being asked to find a good balance of the two, because right now you're on one side of the spectrum that's almost feeling isolated, not letting anybody in, and it's to your detriment, because we're human beings, we're social creatures, and yes, there's such thing as being introverted. I'm definitely an introvert, but that doesn't mean you need to be an isolationist. So finding a good balance, don't swing from one end of the spectrum to the other. Just try to incorporate these in small amounts, you know, just so at least there's a little bit, you know, so you're not feeling completely alone, because loneliness kills. Even if you think that you're better on your own, trust me, it helps to have others around you if you can. So that was like bad habits or things that you should be removing from your life. Looking down here, these tarot cards are going to be what you should be incorporating into your life more. And I'm actually going to start on the right side with the Ace of Cups, because this is an easy message. You need to start enjoying life more. And I feel like it's easy to just like say that and you're like, oh, okay, what if I'm depressed? I'm not enjoying life. You can't just tell me like, be happy, put a smile on your face. But it's more like, okay, we all have things that we love, no matter how small they are. Maybe it's as simple as getting a coffee in the morning. Like, it's like, it sparks joy. It's a little thing that, sorry, my phone is ringing. Turn that off. Little things like that. Or people say like go outside and touch grass is like a joke, but maybe being outside and feeling the sun on your face, even if it's just for a minute, makes you feel good. And you're being asked to lean into those little things that make you feel a little better, starting to enjoy life in the little ways that you can. Maybe that's as simple as cleaning your room or redecorating it. Even if it's not like crazy big, just move the furniture around so it feels cozier. Or, let yourself buy that book, or let yourself spend some time playing video games if that's what makes you happy. Do those little things that make you happier, because I feel like you've been kind of neglecting this love for life. And I don't mean like you've been depressed, because that's definitely out of our power sometimes, but it's more like you're being asked to allow things that give you happiness back into your life. You don't need to completely isolate yourself from things that make you happy in order to be successful. You can have a good balance. And it doesn't necessarily mean like spend money on things or go crazy and party on like a 3-day bender. Small things like, maybe you really love crocheting, but you haven't let yourself crochet because you're like, no, that's a waste of time. I should be focusing on work. And something that's really important that I like to remember is if you picture a triangle, each point of the triangle is something that you need to have as a balance in your life. There's work, there's rest, and there's fun. And people forget about fun a lot because they're like, well, that's kind of useless. Like, how is that helping me forward towards my goals? How is that helping me in my career? But the truth is, if you're just work, rest, work, rest, work, rest, that's not sustainable. You need to have fun in life. You need to enjoy life, or else that's why people burn out. That's why people end up needing to leave their jobs, because they cannot sustain that kind of lifestyle. But then if you're the person that's only work, fun, no rest, you're going to be crashing, your work is suffering, and you're not going to be feeling good when you're having fun. Or if it's just fun and rest, obviously work starts to suffer. So instead of thinking of having fun as something that's useless or you should feel guilty about doing, or like, I don't have time to spend on this, like I need to be focusing on other things, think of it as something that's actually essential in helping you succeed in life. And I think that's what you've been missing, is allowing love and happiness and good vibes back into your life. And another thing that you're being encouraged to do is, with the King of Pentacles here and the Nine of Cups, I feel like I should tell you that whatever it is that you're trying to work towards career-wise, it is going to happen. Like, this Nine of Cups card is all about wish fulfillment, and the King of Pentacles is the king of abundance, of money, of career. He's very successful and he has abundance around him. And I think you're being asked to just believe a little bit more in your abilities. Believe that you have what it takes to succeed. I think that you're so afraid of failure that you don't see like how much ground you've already gained. Like, you should be celebrating the victories that you've made, even if they're small. I feel like it's almost like you're setting these goals for yourself, and it's like, okay, once I reach this goal, I'll be successful at this. But then as soon as you reach that goal, you set another goal for yourself, and you don't even let yourself realize that, wow, I actually made that big accomplishment. Like, it could be as simple as passing a certain class or meeting a certain deadline for work, But instead of allowing yourself to relish in those moments of, yeah, I'm actually making moves towards what I want, making strides towards my goals, you're like, okay, well, what's the next thing to work on? You don't take any breaks. And I want to remind you that it is completely in your power to have what it is you want. It's not far out of reach. This is something that's not only attainable, but I believe that you will have. Like, you have two very positive cards when it comes to career, and like specifically like wishes that you want when it comes to career being fulfilled. Or even if it's not career, your wishes on financial abundance are being fulfilled. So you're being asked to believe a little bit more in your abilities, and also just to not stress as much, because I feel like you have so many fears and so many stresses about it not working out that you're not even realizing how much progress you've made. I feel like I just said the same thing, but that's kind of the message that I have for those two cards. All right, and the last thing that I have that you should be doing more of is enjoying the journey. And I know that that is like, it's really simple. Like, it's a simple concept, but I feel like it's very hard for people to actually grasp and live in. And I myself have a hard time enjoying the journey. I'm always focusing on the destination. But I mean, this is one of those things that it's just, you can't really expand on. It's something that you have to live in and feel and understand. And it'll be hard. It's not like you can just take it to heart right after hearing this, but your guides are really asking you to enjoy the journey. You already know that the destination, you're going to get there. Whether you believe it or not, I feel like intuitively in your gut, you know that this is something that you're meant for. It's in your highest good. You're following your purpose. And when you follow your purpose, you're meant to get it. But you're not taking the time to smell the roses along the way. You're not taking the time to enjoy the journey and seeing all the progress you've made and being proud of yourself. You're so locked down and tunnel visioned on the specific end goal, the specific destination, that you're not enjoying life right now. And all we have is the present moment. And a piece of advice that has been really important for me to learn is when you get to that end goal, if you didn't learn how to appreciate the journey, you're gonna feel so unfulfilled. Because let's say the end goal is you being a billionaire. You don't actually want to be a billionaire. You want to be happy. You want to be content, and you want to feel secure. That's the whole reason why you want all that money, is because you think it'll bring contentment and security. But the truth is, you can find that in your day-to-day. You don't have to have $1 million to feel secure. And I don't mean like financial insecurity isn't a real problem. It is definitely a real problem. But I feel like you put so much weight on that end goal that you don't realize that what is found at the end can also be found for you right now. You feel like you need to have that certain thing, that certain career, that specific accomplishment in order to have this happiness and this security. But if you look around you, you will be able to find those same feelings in even small things. And if you don't learn how to enjoy the journey and how to find those things in your small everyday life moments, you're going to get to that end goal and it's going to feel empty. So that's truly what I mean. It's more about the journey than the destination. We put so much emphasis on the importance of the destination when we're never going to be able to enjoy the destination if we didn't learn how along the journey. We're just going to get there and look around and be like, okay, what now? You know? So that's what I have for you here. And finally, we're going to end with your last piece of advice from your spirit guides. All right, so pile 1. The card that you got is Keep Trying, number 4, and this is the Animal Apothecary deck. So I'm going to be reading from the guidebook, but just to show you the card, there's some starfishes here. It looks like there's 4 of them. There's a blue person, and the colors are like blue, green, purple with a pink background. And it says Keep Trying on the front. So I don't know if that has any personal meaning to you, but let's go ahead and read you your advice. So, advice from your spirit guides. Number 4, keep trying. The medicine of this card speaks of wishes being granted, but also the understanding that you will have to try again and again to receive what you desire. The process of trial and error will lead you to fulfillment. There is a story of a young maiden who prayed and prayed to the stars to heal her so she could fully serve her purpose. She tried everything but failed to ever feel whole. One day the young maiden received a starfish from the stars. She thought to herself, "This one must be what will heal me." The young maiden inspected the starfish, sang to the starfish, and danced with the starfish in hopes that it would heal her, but nothing happened. As a last resort, she took a small bite of the starfish's arm. Still, nothing happened. The young maiden cried out to the stars and cursed them for her inability to be healed. She fell to her knees and begrudgingly threw the starfish into the pond before her. As she wept in despair, her gaze fell upon the starfish subtly moving in the waters. As she watched it regrow the arm she had taken a bite of, the medicine of the starfish was revealed to her. It was at this very moment she had a deep expansion of consciousness. By witnessing the starfish regenerate, she understood the message from the stars. She could heal herself. The ability to do this was not outside of herself. It was always within. This was when the young maiden began to heal. Whether you are healing, manifesting, or creating a meaningful relationship, Starfish's medicine is to keep trying. Understand that all you deem to be failures lead you closer to the right action. If the young maiden didn't take multiple approaches, she would have never been led to the answers that lie within. So, pile 1, that is everything that I have for you today. I really hope that your reading helps you. I hope it resonated. And yeah, that's everything that I have to say. If you're looking for more from me, I do post about twice a week, so feel free to subscribe or just check out any of my other videos if you want more from me. And if you're looking for a personal reading, I do provide those. There's a link down in the description box below. But thank you so much for watching. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye. All right, pile 2. If you chose the green aragonite, then this is going to be the reading for you. And starting off with what you should be removing from your life in order to be the best version of yourself, living in your highest purpose. What are some bad habits or things that you should be cleansing yourself of? Starting off with hunger. I feel like you have been dealing with addictions, and this doesn't necessarily mean addictions with substances, though it certainly could. Though I think it's addictions to coping mechanisms or ways of behavior that aren't serving you, but you are relying on to keep yourself protected from the bad feelings that you don't want to address. Because I feel like there are things that you deal with that make you feel really depressed right now, and it could be things like your parents' disapproval, a loss of a friend, a breakup. But whatever it is, you're distracting yourself. And this could be something like drinking or smoking, which, is certainly an addiction, but it could also be addictions to constantly dating other people. And I'm all for everybody doing what you want, like have fun, go out on the town, meet whoever, but when you're doing it and it makes you feel gross after, you're not doing it to have fun, you're doing it to cover up other wounds. You're doing it to distract yourself, and you're doing it to your detriment. It could also be, I'm trying to think of other addictions. Addictions to hanging around other people because they're a good distraction, but really they're taking you in a wrong direction, or addictions to negative cycles. There is such thing as having an addiction to chaos. Especially when chaos is very prevalent in our lives. As soon as we have peace, we don't know what to do with ourselves. And I feel like you feel like you're weak to inviting chaos back into your life. Like you're just going to open the door for it because you need it or it feels good right now. And by chaos, I can mean any of the things that I previously listed. And I think a large reason for this is because of this rejection card. And what I'm getting here is you put a lot of emphasis on what other people think of you. I don't think that you have a strong sense of confidence. And I don't mean confidence in like the ability to chat someone up. I mean inner confidence in who you are. Do you love yourself? Do you care about yourself? Do you think that you could succeed in things that actually matter to you? I feel like you lower your expectations for yourself, you lower your standards, and you allow yourself to live this life that isn't truly making you happy because you're afraid to give yourself higher standards because you're afraid of failure. And with this rejection card, it could be, maybe it's something like someone broke up with you or someone rejected you and you haven't been able to move on from it. And it's not necessarily because this was like the best person in the world and you're so in love with them, but it's more because why would they reject me? What's wrong with me? What do I need to fix? What do I need to change? Why don't people love me? You have this lack of love and care for yourself that stems from a deep place of insecurity, and any sort of rejection stings deep because you feel like there's something inherently wrong with you. And with this reflection card, I don't think it's reflection in a good way where you're like, reflecting on the past. I feel like you are stuck constantly scrutinizing what the worst parts of yourself are. You are in a deeply unhappy place in life, and I feel like that's why you have to rely on these addictions, whether it is substance abuse or addictions to hanging around with people that don't really care about you or don't want the best for you. And something I'm thinking of is going back to a toxic relationship over and over again, even though they hurt you, because you tell yourself, well, nobody else is going to care about me. No one else is going to want me like they do. And they already barely want you, barely care about you, and you feel it. You feel hurt by them. You're always confused by their behaviors, but you keep going back because of a lack of self-respect. And God, I know that sounds really harsh. Like, I wouldn't want to be talking this way to even myself, but this is the message that's coming through, because I feel like you need to hear it straight up. You need to hear this, because if I put it lightly, I feel like you need a wake-up call. I'm trying to splash the water in your face because you're living in this kind of cycle and feeling like you are a victim to your own life. And it's true that we can be a victim to certain circumstances, but if you define yourself as a victim, you're basically telling yourself that you can't get over it, that you can't be better, that woe is me, I'll never be able to be anything better than what I am. But that's not the truth. You have the opportunity to succeed, and you have so much potential to succeed. But what I see holding you back from becoming your best self is your own self. And I feel the hurt in your heart. I feel the pain. I feel like you constantly feel like if you think too much, you're going to cry. I feel this pain that it's hard for you to go on, and you can't really live unless you're leaning into these addictions because they numb the pain. But I want you to know that you don't have to define yourself as a victim, and you don't have to continue to live this life because it's not even making you happy. And I'm sure at one point these coping mechanisms did help to numb the pain. But that's the thing about coping mechanisms, it's just a way to cope. It's not actually attacking the root issue. And I feel a sense of heartbreak from your guides or whoever's brought this reading to you today, because they see the pain that you're going through and they feel it too, and they want better for you. And that's why they are trying to give you this like bucket of water in the face. Like, it's time to wake up. It's time to move past these things. I feel a sense of passion from them that they want you to get yourself out of this. They want you to want more for yourself. They want you to stop caring about what other people think of you, and to stop scrutinizing every little detail of yourself, and to stop needing to lean into these addictions and these coping mechanisms to make you feel better, because it's time to wash the slate clean. It's time to move on from this old version of yourself. I'm thinking of the song Clean by Taylor Swift. I don't know if you listen to Taylor Swift, but that song is coming to mind. Maybe you could listen to that. I feel like the message in that song was very clearly about what you're going through right now, but that's just an aside. I want to say things correctly because I feel like this is a very touchy subject matter and I don't want to offend you. I want what's best for you. Truly, I'm talking for me right now. I want what's best for the person watching this because I feel your pain and I understand how hard it is simply to live, simply to go through a day without relying on these coping mechanisms. But you're caught in this dark cycle, and the only person that can let you out is you, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to suddenly feel better. You're going to have to live with that hurt. You're going to have to sit in that hurt for a long time until it gets better. But when it does get better, you're finally going to feel clean and refreshed and like a completely different person. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended or hurt anybody with those words. I know it was a little rough, but we're moving on now to what are some good things that you could be inviting into your life? What are some good habits, good behaviors, things that you could do to help yourself become this better version of yourself? And I think starting off with the Seven of Pentacles, you need to start believing in yourself again. And I know it's not going to be easy, but a way that you can is by just changing the way that you act. Even if you don't believe in yourself, even if you feel like you're failing, just wait until you have the evidence in front of you. I'm thinking okay, an analogy I'm thinking of is, let's say that you're trying to grow an orange tree, right? And you have the seeds in your hand, and you keep telling yourself, because you have these thoughts that you're living with, that no, I can't grow a tree. No, everything that I touch dies. I have a black thumb, not a green thumb. There's no way that it's going to succeed. But even though you're telling yourself this, you're going to plant the seeds, because this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to tell you. Even if you're not believing in yourself, plant the seeds, water the plant. Even if the entire way you're thinking and believing that it's not going to succeed, once you see it sprouting, once you see that tree starting to grow, the noise in your head that's telling you that you're not a green thumb is going to go away. And because you have that physical evidence to believe, oh, I did succeed. Oh, maybe I can grow plants. And something I can think of is you not wanting to have a certain job because you're telling yourself, I'll never succeed, I'm not a hard worker, I'm not good at this. You can tell yourself that and continue to believe it, but go out and try to get a job while you tell yourself that. Go out and try to achieve whatever goal it is, even if you're still telling yourself these things. Because you have the ability to succeed, and once you do succeed, you'll have the evidence that you can, and it'll start to make the voices go away. So even if you can't make the voices go away right away, you can at least try, even if you don't believe in yourself. Because it's possible to succeed without believing in yourself. It's very hard, but you have that ability within yourself. And you need to see the fruits of your labor firsthand to believe in yourself. So that's what I mean by just pushing yourself to go out there and at least try. Even if you don't believe, even if you think you're going to fail, even if you think you're not worthy, just do it. And over time, you'll start to actually believe that you can do it, that you are worthy. But you need to have evidence to believe it. I feel like you are the kind of person that you are going to keep having this feeling of disbelief in yourself until you have evidence to prove otherwise. And that's why I am saying, just go out and at least try. Please. If not for yourself, then I was going to say for your future self, but it's still the future you. The next card that you have here for things that you should be doing is Five of Cups reversed. And this card is all about moving on from loss. I think it also has to do with you being asked to shed this past version of yourself so that you can move on to bigger and better things. But I also think that there's a lot of baggage that you have from past trauma, past relationships, from childhood, because you weren't born feeling this way. You weren't born feeling this insecure and scrutinizing yourself. You were taught it. You were taught it by people that should have been looking out for you, that should have been caring about you. And it's not your fault. I want you to hear that it's not your fault that your life turned out this way. But it is within your power to change it. That's what I mean by don't think that you're a victim for the rest of your life. Yes, you are a victim of people treating you badly, but that doesn't mean that you need to just say, okay, well, I'm a victim, that's all I'll ever be. I'll never be able to move on from it. Do not define yourself as a victim, because you can be better. You can heal from these things, and it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to move on from not just this version of yourself that you are right now, but it's time for you to move on from defining yourself as the person that those people believed that you were. People that put you down, why would you believe what they say about you? You are not this bad, useless, horrible, unlovable person. You are so much more than that. And the people that said that to you, I really, really hope that they're no longer in your life, because it's time for you to shed that old skin. When we talk about like shadow work or inner child work, I want you to think about the fact that when a child is born, they come into this life like a blank slate. They are so pure and can truly be anything that they want to be. But if they are raised in a household where they are constantly being put down, they start to believe that that's all they'll ever be. And it's time for you to shed those words off your back. It's like you've been carrying them with you your entire life. And it's time for you to shed them and believe you can be that blank slate again. You don't have to define yourself by your past. You don't have to define yourself by what other people said of you. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be a very long journey, and it might take your entire life. But as long as you can change your mindset, change it from, I'm a victim, this is all I'll ever be, to changing it to, I can move on from this. Even if it doesn't happen overnight, you're moving in the right direction because at least you're moving forward. It's time to let go of those addictions, let go of these behaviors, let go of these self-limiting beliefs, and tell yourself that you can be more. Because you can be. I believe that you can be. If not believing in yourself, believe in me, because I can see it pretty damn clearly. And finally, with this Four of Cups reversed, it's time for you to start believing your word over everyone else. And I don't mean don't care about good people in your life if, you have those good people in your life that truly want the best for you. But the only opinion that should matter when it comes to who you are or the decisions that you make in life should be your decisions. The only person that you should let yourself define yourself as is you. If you're looking for other people's validation and, oh, am I successful yet? Or am I doing things right yet? Everybody's going to have a different opinion. Everybody has their opinions on themselves and others, but the only opinion that truly matters is yours. And again, that doesn't mean that judgment doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean that we don't care about other people's opinions, but you are believing it to your detriment, that you are wrong. You can't possibly believe in yourself. And I don't mean believe in yourself and your abilities. I mean, you don't even believe the words you say to yourself. You think that the only, what am I trying to think of? The only, when you cite your sources, the only reliable source you believe is other people. But how the hell do they know what's going on with your life? The most reliable source for your life is you, because it's your life. So stop putting such emphasis and such importance on what other people think of you. Believe in yourself. Shed this past version of yourself that was so defined as a victim, defined by what other people believed of them, and restricted by what other people allowed them to be. You can be anything that you want to be, and I think that you have so much potential, and you just can't see it yet because you're so blinded by the hatred and the being put down by other people. It's like I said with the kid analogy, you grow up and you're a baby. A baby can be whatever they want to be. They could be a rocket scientist someday as long as they have the right people in their corner. But you had the wrong people in your corner. They put you down, they called you stupid, they said nobody's ever gonna love you. And you started growing up believing, I am stupid. I'm never gonna understand calculus, because people are telling me that, oh, I'll never surpass this level. But the truth is, you have just as much ability to succeed as any other person. The only reason that you're limited is because of the influences that you had growing up, and the influences around you now that are holding you back. You can succeed in anything that you want. You're not a victim, you're not broken, and you are not stuck in the current place in life that you are right now. Everybody always has it within their power to succeed. And I need you to believe this. Hear my words, believe in yourself, because you can be anything that you want to be. So those are what I have for things that you should be getting rid of and things that you should be doing. And I wanted to end on this final piece of advice from your spirit guides, what you need to hear right now. I'm going to read it from the guidebook, and then that'll be all. The card that you have here is Inner Conflict Resolution, number 6. And it looks like there's some sort of falcon or hawk on top and then a snake on bottom, and the colors are pink and purple, if that has any meaning for you. So I'm going to go ahead and read. Number 6, Inner Conflict Resolution. Venomous snake comes to speak to us about the ironic remedy of poison. The right amount of poison in our lives acts like a vaccine, allowing us to heal and build immunity towards a larger, deadly dose. This poison comes to us in the form of inner conflict, suffering, and self-sabotage. Every great venture that you deeply yearn to manifest is met with agonizing inner conflict. When we are on our journey towards expansion and self-fulfillment, we will come face to face with an inner dialogue that tries to tear down our dreams. These debilitating moments of great mental anguish are put on your path for you to witness, learn from, and eventually overcome. They are quite literally the catalyst for your growth. Strange how we view these thoughts as holding us back when, in fact, in the right amount, they can act like a vaccine that allows us to create a certain type of immunity toward future obstacles on the journey of manifesting. Despite the inner agony, congratulations. This is all a normal part of the process in your leveling up. This is why Falcon brought her medicine to this card, because she heralds victory and overcoming your current obstacle. Acknowledge that this moment of discomfort is part of your evolution. This is a growing pain. Falcon and Venomous Snake combine their medicine to reassure you the outcome is promising, and whatever conflict you are currently facing will soon dissipate. Take a deep breath in, release, and smile. So, usually I don't really comment on this, I just leave you with the message, but I want to re-emphasize that I really feel like that message is telling you that everything that you've been through, not only should you not let it define you, but it is something that can help you grow. You have struggled so much, but being able to overcome it shows you just how strong you are. So, like I said about the Seven of Pentacles, sometimes all you have to do is just try, wait for an outcome, and if it's possible, what it is you're trying to work for, you're going to see the evidence of it, and you're going to start to believe it. And I think that thing that you should start working towards is, like it says, using all that pain and anguish that you felt to bolster yourself, to learn from it, to heal from it, and to heal even stronger. So, pile 2. That is everything that I have for you today. I really, really hope that this reading helped. I hope it resonated with you. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. If you're looking for more from me, I do post about twice a week, so feel free to subscribe or check out any of the other videos on my channel. I try to make videos like this about, purpose, healing, things that I feel like actually matter. So if you're looking for more, there is a ton. And if you want a personal reading, I do provide those. There's a link down in the description box below to my shop. But that's everything that I have for you. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye. All right, pile 3. If you chose the Dendritic Agate, then this is going to be the reading for you. All about what do you need to do to be the best version of yourself. So starting off with the top row of cards, we have what are some things that you need to let go of. So bad habits or things that aren't really serving you. And I'm going to be honest, when I got your cards, I was very confused because I was like, okay, why do they need to let go of abundance, comfort, and confidence? But I figured it out. And for example, with confidence, I feel like you have this false sense of confidence because it's based on lies. And it might not seem like, big, like crazy lies, like I'm a different person than you think I am, but it's, half truths, like little white lies here and there. Like when people ask you how you're doing, you're like, I'm doing great, even if you're not really doing great. Or, oh, how'd you do on that test? Yeah, I got an A+, even though maybe you got a C. And on the outside, people are like, oh yeah, they're doing great. Like they're doing so great in their classes. They look great. They're staying on top of their stuff. But I feel like on the inside, you're kind of struggling and you're not telling the truth to everyone. You're not telling people what's really going on. And with another thing, with the abundance card, you have a few different things. I was going to try to connect them, but they're kind of different. With abundance, for something that you need to let go of is you're focusing so hard on this end goal of, I need to make this amount of money, I need to do this kind of job. You're overwhelming yourself. And I'm not saying that I don't think that that kind of monetary abundance is possible for you. I definitely think it's possible, but you're only allowing yourself to have these high standards and not allowing yourself any leeway in between. If you get a job that's like you're only making $40,000 or $60,000 a year, you feel embarrassed and you don't want to tell people about it. So you're telling them, oh yeah, I'm making like $100,000 a year. You're lying. You're having this false sense of confidence. And I'm not saying you're not going to have that job where you make $100,000 a year, but it's like you're so afraid of revealing the truth that you're not at your end goal yet. You're afraid of showing that your life isn't perfect. And that makes me wonder, do you have good people in your life? Because, if they're people that really truly care about you, it wouldn't be so scary to be open and honest with them about how you're doing. Do you feel like your relationships are conditional, where they'll only want to be around somebody that's like on top of their stuff, got a ton of money? Or for some of you, it's not that, and it's just you have great friends, but they all seem to be doing quote unquote better than you. And so you're putting on this facade of, oh, I'm doing just as great, but you're not. And with this comfort card, I feel like you are the kind of person that people go to for comfort. You are the kind of person that provides advice, and I don't think it's bad advice. I think it's really good advice, but you are comforting these people who are going through the same sort of thing as you, and that's why you're good at saying it, but they think that you're doing way better. They think that you're not dealing with those kinds of things. And I feel like you could talk to these people and be like, yeah, I'm actually going through the exact same thing, and be perfectly honest, but instead it's more like, oh yeah, I used to deal with that stuff, so here's this advice on it. And you're comforting other people, but who's comforting you? Nobody's comforting you because everybody thinks, oh, they're actually doing so well, they are the kind of person I want to be. But you're living this, fake facade of a life. You're not being completely honest and true about what's going on with you. And so I want you to reflect, what are the reasons why you feel the need to put up this front? Is it insecurity? Do you think that people will judge you and not want to be around you? Do you think that the people around you will suddenly drop you like a hot potato if they find out that you're not making $100,000 a year? Because if that's the case, those aren't the right friends for you. But if that's not the case, then you have to say, is it just in my head? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I acting this way? Because in a way, you're sort of isolating yourself from people that could be helping you if you do have these good people in your life. If you were 100% open and honest, maybe you'd be getting, some help, or maybe people would actually be there to comfort you instead of you just being there for other people. It's very isolating if we just tell people things are going great all the time. Nobody actually delves any deeper, and you start to feel like you're not really cared about, So next we have with the tarot, what are some things that you should be integrating into your life? Now, starting off with the Six of Wands, I was very confused because this card says confidence, and this card is all about confidence. So I was like, okay, why do you need to give it up, but then simultaneously have more of it in your life? But I think what you need here is get rid of false confidence. Get rid of the fake, like, oh yeah, I actually did great on that test when you did horrible. Get rid of, oh, I make this much money when I make this much. Or lying about getting a promotion that you thought you were going to get and you actually didn't end up getting it, but telling people that you are anyway. It's a false sense of confidence. And your guides want you to have a real sense of confidence. And the way that you can do that is, okay, maybe don't suddenly tell people, okay, here's the truth, I was lying all along. Instead, just don't say much about your life at all. Just allow yourself to focus on yourself. Stop caring so much about people judging you. Just don't tell them what's going on. If it's something like you're constantly posting on social media, like, oh, this is how I'm doing, and putting up a facade, instead, just don't post. You're not telling lies anymore, and you're also not telling the honest truth, but at least you don't feel a need to put anything out there. You can focus on yourself and not feel like you have all these eyes on you constantly. So that's one way if you're really into posting on social media. Another is just take time to yourself. When you're in conversations with friends, instead of bragging or getting on touchy subjects that you feel the need to, put up a false facade, instead, just kind of steer to other topics. So you don't really need to talk about it with them. You don't need to reveal what's going on, especially if it's hard for you to reveal the truth. And in turn, you'll be able to actually work on things without feeling judgment, without feeling as bad. And then you'll start to have a real sense of confidence because you'll actually be letting yourself succeed instead of just thinking about how poorly you're doing compared to other people. Which I don't think you're doing poorly. I'm speaking more like this is your internal dialogue. This is how you are currently feeling about your issue. But I think something that's important is everybody moves at their own pace. And yes, it's important to have goals, but if you feel like if you don't reach those goals, you are a failure at life, that's no way to live. You know, we're not meant to define ourselves by things that we don't achieve. We're meant to define ourselves by what we love. We are meant to define ourselves by what makes us happy and the things that we want to do and the experiences that we want to have, not by what we can't have or what we failed at. It's time for you to actually be confident and happy in a real way. And that doesn't mean like continuing to chase after a certain goal. It means being happy with what you have right now. Even if it's not where you want to be for the rest of your life, that's okay. It's important to have those goals, like I said. But it's important to be proud of yourself right now, to be confident in the life that you lead right now, instead of lying about it. And next, with this Ace of Cups reversed, I think it's time for you to let go of fake love, fake niceties. If there's people that you hang around with that make you feel icky or just bad after you hang out with them, it's time to kind of like excuse those people from your life. And I'm not talking about suddenly starting fights and suddenly ghosting people, but just kind of take a step back. Take a step away from those people that aren't truly authentic, because I'm just getting like very fake friend group energy. And that could be a big reason why you feel the need to put up this false sense of confidence, because if you don't, these people are going to judge you. They're going to hate you. They're not going to want to be around you. Those are not the kind of people that you want in your life. So it's time to cut out those people that are just, fake niceties and fake love, don't really care about you, because what do they even have to offer you? It's giving very like high school energy, like if you're not a part of a clique, you're not cool. But trust me, when you're an adult, there's no such thing as cliques like that. I know like social media is important to a lot of people, but trust me, for your mental health, I deleted Snapchat. I keep my Instagram pretty private. I don't care about how many followers I have. I only post when there's things that I actually want to post. I don't, go out of my way to be like, oh, look at me, I'm on this expensive vacation with my partner and we're doing so much better than you. Because it's all fake. And at the end of the day, it's just doing it for validation. And, it's nice to like post about things that you care about, but if you're only doing it because you feel this need to compete or show off or show that you're doing great or else people are going to judge you, you're inviting so much toxicity into your life. And it's time to purge yourself of that. I'm envisioning you as this like small pond and you're filled with all this gunk, and that's like all that fake love. It's time to purge it, dump it out, clear it away so that you can be clean and clear and just have a real sense of confidence and happiness, not this fake one that you feel the need to put on every day. And finally, with the Four of Swords, I think your guides are also calling you to just take like a physical break, a rest. Because the Four of Swords is all about rest. And maybe it's like for you, you're like, well, I don't really have time to rest. I have a full-time job. I have shit I need to do. That's totally valid. But at the end of the day, instead of just suddenly like hopping on the couch and watching Netflix or going online and scrolling TikTok for hours, maybe try integrating yoga or meditation or reading a book, something that calms you down, because I feel like a big thing that you've been missing, not missing, but needing, is rest. Your soul, your mind is all confuzzled, especially if you're in this like fake friend group and you're not truly doing well and you're lying about who you are. Your brain becomes confused with reality and lies. And I'm getting a very ungrounded sense from you. You need to ground yourself. And the best way to do that is meditation, journaling, stretching, exercise, and not exercise to be fit, but just to get energy out, just to move and release sweat, release the toxins from your body. Just moving. Movement is a great way to get energy out, especially if you're feeling very stagnant and ungrounded. And finally for you, I have this last piece of advice that I got. And this is advice that your spirit guides want to give you right now. So it's a specific piece of advice. And what I see on it is you have this lion, and the background is black. There's a moon in the corner, a little green heart, and there's lots of green crystals growing out of it. Also, something important to note is the color yellow has to do with the solar plexus chakra, which is all about your self-empowerment, confidence, and the color green has to do with your heart chakra, if it'll focus. So it could be that those two are important for you to focus on. The heart being love, like true, real love, love for yourself, love for others, love, comfort, and the solar plexus chakra being focusing on real self-empowerment, real confidence. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 24, it's in you, the not-so-cowardly lion. In the story of the Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion traveled the yellow brick road to get to Emerald City to request what his heart most longed for: courage. Little did he know that during his entire frightening journey, he already possessed that which he sought so desperately. For in his heart there roared a courage that was always his to claim. The Cowardly Lion needed that outer journey to understand that what he most desired was always within. What you seek, you, too, have in you. Do not give up the journey. Persevere and endure. Endure the uncertainty. Remember that having courage does not mean you are fearless. It means you do the thing despite being scared. Cowardly Lion, who now has transformed into Confident Lion, shares his medicine with these questions. What if everything you've been searching for is not only right in front of you, but it is in you? What if everything you've been chasing outside of yourself was the part of you that you couldn't see within? What if you were looking in others to find the you that was screaming to be self-actualized? What if every beautiful quality you deeply want, you already possess? What if the sweep you off your feet love is your own love within reflected back to you? What if the gift that you've been waiting to actualize was crying out, I'm right here, please, 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 see me? What if this whole entire time it was you that you were searching for? What if you chose you and stopped waiting for others to choose you? What if you stopped running toward external validation to prove your worth and instead went within and became yourself? So, pile 3, I think that was a beautiful message to end on. I really hope that this reading helps you. I hope it resonates. I hope it finds all the right people. But that's everything that I have for you. If you want more from me or more like this, feel free to check out my channel. I have lots of other videos like this on there. And I do post about twice a week. If you want to, feel free to subscribe, stick around, and see more from me. And if you're looking for any personal readings, I do provide those. There's a link down in my description box below to my shop. But that's everything that I have for you, Pile 3. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye.